Now let's sketch y equal 3 cosine x. I want to remind you that the general form is y equal a cosine kx, where absolute a gives me my amplitude, and k is going to affect the period. The period of cosine is typically 2 pi, but if there's a coefficient of x, it's 2 pi over k. So if we look at our picture, absolute a is 3, so my amplitude is 3. I see that k is 1, which means the period of this graph is going to be 2 pi over 1, which is 2 pi. I also like to look at the distance between the major tick marks. And that is the period over 4. So in our case, that's 2 pi over 4, which is pi over 2. So my tick marks, and again, I'm talking about major tick marks. That's where cosine is -1, 0, or 1. My tick marks are going to be 0 because there's no phase shift. Then I have pi over 2. I add pi over 2 to that. Then I add another pi over 2. I get pi. I get 3 pi over 2 if I add pi over 2. Then 2 pi. Then 5 pi over 2. 3 pi. 7 pi over 2. 4 pi. 9 pi over 2, and so on. I want you to think back to your unit circle. Notice we did not shift change the period any. Okay, so we're looking at 0, pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, this is also 2 pi, 5 pi over 2, 3 pi, 7 pi over 2, 4 pi, and so on. And the points here are, this point right here is 1, 0, this point right here is 0, 1, this point right here is -1, 0, this is 0, -1. And my points are cosine, comma, sine, cosine, comma, sine, cosine, comma, sine, cosine, comma, sine. So we're going to see what the cosine values are for each of these. So I'm just going to draw out some tick marks. And label them: pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, 5 pi over 2, 3 pi, 7 pi over 2, 4 pi. I want at least 2 periods. Okay. So then I say, well, what is cosine of 0? Well, cosine of 0 is 1. But I've shifted this up 3. So 1, 2, 3. So cosine of 0 is 1, but I have 3 cosine of 0, so that's 3. And then I like to graph, like I said, the major tick marks. So cosine of pi over 2 is 0, so 3 times 0 is 0. Cosine of pi is -1, so 3 times -1 is -3. And we're going to see cosine goes high, middle, low, middle, high, middle, low, middle, high. So we can connect these in a nice curve. Get a little bigger, make sure I hit it. This is y equals 3 cosine x. We can check some points if you want to. So for example, this point right here is the point 3 pi over 2, comma 0. So we're going to say this is 3 times cosine of 3 pi over 2. 3 cosine 3 pi over 2. Cosine of 3 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2 is down here, so that's 0. 3 times 0 is 0. Check this one. This is 2 pi, comma 3. So we're saying 3 times cosine of 2 pi equals, 2 pi is over here, it's 1. So this is 3 times 1 is 3, and so on. There you go.